Hello, everyone, and welcome to Coffee with Ori. I am Ori, your host. Happy Monday, happy beginning of the week, and happy days to everyone. Today's segment is going to be on how you decide what belief system you will be for you and your future children if you are raised Catholic. I don't think it's just raised Catholic though. Hey, Nieta, I think it's a matter of just being raised any other religion besides the Yoruba faith. Now, the way that things are going right now in life itself, there are too many variables, too many forms of make believe, and too many forms of lies. So people who are in church and people who are born into a certain faith, they kind of have lost sight of what the true meaning of God is, or what scriptures truly are, because people have actually taken the time to read the Bible, so they have made up their own minds due to what scriptures have said. Okay. Um, one of the things that I was talking about yesterday with some people that came over, we were talking about the things that the Bible says that you should not eat. Now, you know, animals with three hooves or hooves where the skin didn't cover it, and where they have spaces, we're not supposed to eat. And they are also the seafood. You're not supposed to eat anything that doesn't have fins or things like that. So we were reading that. But then again, you know that the Bible also says if you wear cotton, or you wear silk, and you wear this other fabric, that you're supposed to be stoned to death. So there's a lot of little things that the Bible has that people don't quite understand. They may not agree with it, so they have made their own. They've made their own choice whether they want to be involved in something or whether they don't. Now, it there is something that we were reading also yesterday in scripture, which was about that, like, take those animals like the chicken and all this other stuff, and then just give God burnt offerings. And this is all in the Old Testament. So I wanna touch this subject because we a lot of people that are into the Yoruba faith or Santeria, whatever, we kind of like choose, we have to give the God, spirit, angels, and guides, burnt offerings, and people judge us and criticize us because you're not supposed to do that. But at the end of the day, it's an African religion that we practice, so really it doesn't fall into the category of Catholicism. It's not a pagan religion because it has existed too many years, many years, like thousands of years before the Christianity. So it's not something that just decided to come and was just born yesterday. Ifa is similar to the I Ching. The I Ching is similar to you know, uh, other different walks of life and different religions around the world, and the worshiping of ancestors and the worshiping of idols have come from the beginning of time. And some people just go with the flow because that is what we learned. Now, you know uh, I don't really know what you would choose if you were born Catholic or if your family are Catholic, and down the line, you have an epiphany and you want to switch. I know people that have switched from Catholic to Pentecostal, from Pentecostal to either Hinduism or Buddhism, or have become Muslims, or have become Seventh-day Evangelists, or Jehovah Witness. Just like I know Jehovah Witnesses that have become, santeros, and have become, different type of people. So I think that a lot of it has to do with education, and not, I don't mean education like school education. I mean like spiritual education, getting to know where your heart feels right, or how to settle for something that feels important to your soul. There are a lot of preachers' children that have grown up with preachers' fathers and preacher mothers and preacher grandmothers and grandfathers and uncles and aunts, and I'm one of those. But there's a lot of us that were born into things like that, and yet we grow up, and it's not that we become rebellious, it's just that we just kind of like go into the other corner, because we feel that that little bit of information that this person is spewing, because that's the word that I have to use, is spewing out, is not positive. It's not an enforcement for you to be kind and to be loving. It's more of an enforcement for you to actually have to do something, because you have to do it, because you have to do it, and because you have to do it. No questions asked, you have to. And once in a while, when you keep up with that, you have to, and you're old enough to make sense of your life, that you have to doesn't make sense anymore. The accepting of religions and the accepting of the things that are happening out around us, we don't just tolerate that anymore, where, you have to do this, you have to do this is done this way because it is this way. Even in the Yoruba faith, people say, oh, well, it's tradition, you have to do this way. Well, guess what, guys? You know what? Yoruba religion has been around for thousands of years, and it's 2022. There are modern ways to do things. I'm not saying that we shouldn't stay with the old ways, but you know what? There are modern ways of doing things and modern ways of handling things. And therefore, that doesn't mean that it doesn't work, because to me, everything works. And as long as you do it with your heart and you do it with kindness, and what you give people comes from a place of love, you don't ever have to worry about it being a negative thing, because that is what we're supposed to be following. It's not supposed to be following, this religion or that religion because of XYZ. We're supposed to be following things because we are following the doctrine of love, which is what Christ spoke about, what he directed us, without judgment, without criticizing, without, being this or being that. And to this day, people just don't seem to get it. It seems to me that it is easier for people to judge. It says, well, the Bible says no homosexual. No. Think about the time the Bible was written, and think about the times where the things that were going on in that time. So I think that there has to be a different way of looking at this, according to the times that the book was written on. Okay. And, I know that with the translation done what it was done, it was, thou shalt not, men should not sleep with boys. It didn't say men should not sleep with men. Men should not sleep with boys. So think about that. At that time frame, the Romans were sleeping with little boys, so were the Jews, and so were other types of people, you know? So, how do you know about love? Well, I don't know exactly what you mean. How do you know about love? The only thing that I can say for me, for my well-being, is that when you love, you love, when you love something that's higher than you, let's just say when you love the Lord with all your heart and all your convictions, and it's not a fanatical thing, it's just you love the Lord and you love the fact that he is a creator and he is heavier than you and he is bigger than you, and you know that is an existence, that something is greater and bigger than you, excuse me, and you love everything, the trees, the leaves, the birds. It's a love story between you and life, and then you and God, and you and creation. So that to me is love. Okay. Loving another human being, that's a different story because, I think people use the word I love you a little bit too much. So I'm kind of like funny about when people tell me that they love me. I always tell them I'd rather you show me that you love me than to tell me that you love me. Because showing me, I can see better than if you tell me that you love me, because people have whitewashed that word so much, and I'm in love with you, and it doesn't mean anything. So I stick to the words that to me mean a lot to me, which is, you know, show me that you love me, and then you will see my response. Uh, Now, in the Bible, uh, the men influence. The Bible is the Bible. The Bible went from the Old Testament to the New Testament. The Torah is the Old Testament. The Quran is the Old Testament. So if you want to know the Torah, you want to know the Quran, read the Old Testament, and then you will see that God was a wrathful God, and he was, he did not care what he destroyed this and he destroyed that. He was always, creating wars and stuff. And at the end of the day, you got to love a man that can create a good war. Backing back Backing up on what I was saying about the love part, I think that there are people who have been with people for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, sometimes even 8 or 10 years, and they never marry that person. They'll be good at telling them, I love you, I really love you, but when it comes down to marrying them, they don't propose. They keep them hanging, and unfortunately, that's not love. And making up this whole story was, it's just a piece of paper. Well, you know what? That piece of paper in this country means a lot, because if you are with someone, you know, having that piece of paper means um, life or death. Because sometimes you can be with that person, and if you don't have the paper and their family comes in, they come first before you. Okay, so uh, marriage is just part of the thing. Also being faithful, guys, come on, like in the love thing, it's about being faithful. It's not about cheating. It's not about doing other things. It's not about having threesomes or foursomes. If you love someone enough, you don't have to go outside your house, unless you know unless you have that arrangement. Then that's a different story. But if you are, I love you for better or worse, to death do us part, and you're going to be cheating every other day, then that's not love. That's just something that you created to keep that other person happy, because you know that person is very um, it's very attached to you somehow. And what you want to show is, you want to show face that you are reliable, when in reality we both know that you're not reliable. Okay. Now, another thing of what I was saying to you about religion, when I made a transition from where I made a transition to this religion at a very young age. When I made a transition, there were so many negative things behind it. A lot of witchcraft, a lot of spell doing, a lot of spell throwing. People arguing and fighting, and and creating a lot of controversy, a lot of gossip. So I found myself a way to leave that and became a Buddhist for a long time. And when I was dragged back into this religion, and I do say dragged in, it wasn't something that I really wanted, and it's not something that I didn't think I was ready for. But since the the spirits and guides, they felt that it was where I needed to be at that moment. I kind of had to put my guard down and accept it, what came to me. And I did it the way I had to. I made it to where it was comfortable for me, but I had to figure out in my mind like where exactly everything fit. Not just in Catholicism, but also in Hinduism and in Buddhism. You know, like I had to put in my mind like who is Elegua, you know, and in the Hindu religion, Elegua is Ganesh, you know, and then who is Elegua in the Catholic faith? So you either have Saint Anthony, you have Saint Martin, you have many different saints that cover. So I found the balance between Catholicism and the Yoruba faith by them by their ways or their ancestral ways to hide behind religious idols that we have worshipped our whole lives. And also in Hinduism and in Buddhism, I found that, you know, the goddess that I worshiped, which was, you know, Yemaja, which is the queen of all mothers, and she is the queen of the ocean. You know, I found that she is part of Kuan Yin Shipusha, which is the only female Buddha. And and then in Hinduism, she's Mother Ganga. Hey, Lance, the Torah is the closest actual what happened, or the Quran. Lance, I don't. To be honest with you, I think that through the will of God, or to the will of your higher power, that information that's in the book, it's an information like a guidebook. You ask me personally about how I feel about the Bible. I believe that the Bible is a love story. It's a love story of people who have loved the Lord, who have given of themselves, who have appreciated, and how God has loved them back. You know, even the part of Jesus, although I may not believe that he is who he is, I feel that he may be, uh, like most religions, that he was a great teacher, and that he came here as a child of God, which we all are, created in his image, that he loved his father, and that just like he loved his father, we love our father. So I just believe that in my opinion that the Bible is a love story, and just like every love story, there is love and there is tragedy that dance together as one in a really uh, convoluted tango, as you know, if you want to do it that way, you know. But there's always love and there's always tragic. It's never one thing consistent and the other thing not consistent. There has to be that, and that's the one thing you find in the Bible. Unfortunately, the Bible was written by man and not by God himself. So therefore, there's a lot of things in there that man have put in there, you know, just like the preachers, and just like you go to the Catholic Church, which we know that's organized because in every church, Catholic church, every Sunday, all over the world, in the United States or in Europe, the same mass that they have Sunday in Europe, they have it here. The same mass they have in every church is the same exact doctrine. So that right there becomes an institution. Now, the Quran, I don't know it to be like that. The Torah, I also don't know to be like that. But I do know that people take things as they want, and people can either add or they can take, or they can whitewash it and pretend that, oh well, I'm just going to take this paragraph from Samuel, and I'm going to take this little part right here from Jeremiah, and I'm going to take this part here from Exodus, and I'm going to put it together. This is what I'm going to work with, you know. So those people used to be, we used to call them cafeteria Catholics. They only take what they want, okay. And there are a lot of people that are like that in the world. There's a lot of religions that are the same way. I'm not saying that one doesn't work and the other one does. I'm not saying that one is better than the other. What I'm saying is, why don't you rely on God and just do the thing that you have to do, which is give to the less fortunate when you can, be kind to people. When people treat you like crap, you know, no matter what, try try to be forgiving and try to understand, or put yourself in their shoes and try to understand where they're coming from and try to help any which way you can. Uh, you know, help older people, help, you know, people who need help. Not Don't be afraid of mental illness. If you have a problem, you know, people that have that, help them any which way you can. A smile goes a long way. A smile can start off a person's day. Saying thank you can start a person's day. Saying I wish you a happy day, a wonderful day. That those things like that can actually spark people, um, to make these grand gestures throughout the day. You know, I have heard on several occasions this weekend where people called me up and they're like, "Oh my God, I had this conversation early in the morning and it just pissed me off, so it just messed up my whole day." I'm like, "Why? Why did it mess up your whole day?" You know, I don't understand that. You know, you got a phone call, you didn't like it, you didn't have to deal with it, you could have hung up, but you stayed there and you didn't like the conversation. So therefore, you may made you have a bad day when it's only 10 o'clock in the morning. And how is it going is making you have a bad day if you got the news at 8 and it's 10? So now your whole day is all messed up because of something that someone said. That speaks volumes of how you feel about yourself. And that is another thing where we have to break down what is love. That is love. Loving yourself first is the key. We don't have to love somebody, you know, we have to love ourselves first. Why did I decide to come back to Santeria? I, I, well, I was born a medium. I was born a medium. I come from a family that we're all mediums. So it's not like it was something new to me. I never stopped being a medium. I never stopped reading. But the Yoruba faith, okay, as they may call it in Spanish, Santeria, I call it Lukumi. It is a branch off of Ifa. But what made me go back to it is that, um, in many different rites of passage, I have been called King of the Dead and He Who Rules the Dead. There's certain names that my names carry. So therefore, you know, I've always had this ability to talk to the dead and go deep within the darkness of the dead, and in the goodness of the light with the dead. So because I'm able to see the dead and help people through their tragedies, I think that the mission that God chose for me was something that was a mundane religion, meaning there was an earthly religion that came very deep rooted. And because of my incarnations for so many thousands of years that I can remember, every incarnation I've had, and I have been around since the beginning of time. I feel that it was his choice to choose for me what would be more likely for me to accept than reject. I wanted to be a priest. Things happened in my life personally, and that dream was shattered. I was Jehovah's Witness. I was a Pentecostal. I used to read a lot. I wanted to be a pastor. Things happened there, and of course, I had to give that up. So everything that I wanted in my life was actually kind of like, I think it was kind of like pushed away, not by the incidents, but by God letting me know you're not where you need to be. So let's try to figure out where you need to be. And at this point, I believe that the Yoruba religion, Santeria, whatever you want to call it, it is something that doesn't judge us too harshly. Doesn't really care if we're gay, if we're straight. Yes, there are some other religions that actually are a small part of what we believe in, and they judge. But the judgment that they have on us is not the kind of judgment where the world wants to destroy us because we're gay. That's not what I see. It's not what. I think that there is a lot of opportunity coming. I think too many people right now at this moment are focusing on, the world is coming to an end, and we need to like save water and save food and get ready because Armageddon is on its way. You know, the scriptures say that the coming of Christ will be like a thief in the night. He will come in like a thief in the night. So, what makes you think that he's just going to pop up and choose certain people? Like a lot of people in a lot of churches believe that their church is the chosen one, but how do you know that? You know what I'm saying? Um, what do they say? Out of a million, 100, and out of 100, only one. So think about that. Out of a million, there'll be a few, and out of a few, there'll be 100. There'll be one. Out of 100, there'll be one. So honestly, who who is better, or who is faster to reach the heaven of the heaven of glory, if it does exist? It's not going to be someone who goes to church every Sunday. It's going to be somebody who is a beggar, who is a prostitute, who is gay, someone who's in the street. God doesn't. God, Christ, they never used holy people to do their worshiping for them. They rarely did. Most of the people who are martyrs were sinners. So, people that learn and understand will understand that as long as you know that what you're doing is right and it feels right with you inside, by helping people, giving to them, nurturing them, walking them, accompanying them to whatever, you will realize that giving of yourself, selfless, the selflessness that you give of yourself, that is what God is looking for. The non-judgmental ways that you can be, or that you can share yourself with, is what they're looking for. The fact that you are able, that no matter what you've been through, no matter how hard they've hurt you, that you've been able to forgive them and just continuously ask God to forgive you just for the thoughts. That's all they want. They don't want anything from us. They don't want us to worship them. They want us to acknowledge them, acknowledge that they do exist, that they are in our life, and that we are living proof that they do exist, and that everything around us shows us that they do exist. And also that we love the Lord in a way that is so powerful and so unified and so good that when a situation happens, we're able to give people the advice that we can just to help them through it. A lot of people can't really say that. I say people that are in AA or NA or whatever, I think that it takes a lot, and I think it takes a strong human being, mentally, emotionally, physically. It takes an amazing human being to connect to God in such a way that you're allowing God to take you to this place and to help you heal by giving you the strength to stand in front of a group of people and say, I am an addict, even though time has went on and you're not. I tell the story of people when I was young. I was a teenager. I used to get high. My drug of choice was coke, and I did a lot of it. And I used to drink, and I used to do so many things. And when I was 19, I think it was the last time I attempted to get rid of myself, and I I was shown I was shown the silhouette of the Virgin Mary, and she said, "This is the last time I save your life." And I remember that at that point in my life, I stopped getting high at 19. I didn't want to be bothered with any kind of drugs. I didn't want to drink rum. I didn't want to do anything. I just didn't know how much more I needed to do to please God, and that's all I wanted to do was to please God. So I don't think that it is a matter of choosing what religion or the ultimate choice. Like, just because my parents were Catholic doesn't mean that I will stay Catholic. There are many Catholics that are not Catholics at all. The many people that have grown up with fathers and uncles and aunts that grandmothers that were ministers that no longer believe in God or Christ. They don't believe in anything. They believe in cause and effect, which also exists. But with all that being said, and what the topic was today was like, what religion do I think that I would have that I figure I would choose from being Catholic or my children. I don't think that I have the right to make a decision for my children. I think that baptism is a thing that we know and that we understand. But I do also understand that if you have a child and it's a baby and you don't want to Christian the baby, why Christian the baby? Honestly, why Christian the baby as a baby? Should not that be their choice to be Christian or not Christian? I mean, I know that, yes, I was Christian when I was a baby, and so were my siblings, and so were my cousins. But do I believe in that? No, I believe that a child has the right to make up their own mind what they want to do. And if a child is interested in learning something about some other religion, why not? Why not give them the opportunity to look, to observe, and to do? Why should we be the ones to push it on them? It's not going to save or destroy their soul. It's not. That's the misconception. If your child is a good child and you didn't baptize them, but the child is a good child, then you know what? Communication is the key. You talk to your child about God. You talk to your child about different things so that your child can choose what they want out of life. There are people that I know that have children that are in their teens that don't believe in God and they don't believe in the saints. They just say, you know what? I believe in a higher power and I believe in nature. I believe in Mother Nature. I believe that she's very powerful. And yeah. So they believe in something that's beautiful and something that's as old as time. You know, the mothers, the mother of the winds and the mother of the earth and the mother of the water and the mother of the rivers and the mother of the storms. They're all female energies. So they believe in that. They don't believe in a God that the book is written on. They believe in everything that has to do with nature and everything that has to do with love and peace and harmony and beauty and things like that. And to me, I admire people like that. So to be really really honest on this question about if we're great, what religion will we choose for ourselves or for our children? I can't speak about children. I can speak about what I've chosen and the paths that I've chosen, and I've tried it all. Everything from the Catholic Church to the Baptist Church to the Pentecostal Church to another Pentecostal church to a Seventh-day Adventist church to, going a couple of times to Kingdom Hall. And, at the end of the day, I realized one thing. Everybody is trying to love the Lord the best way they can. And I'm not saying that they're all um, making it, but it's not for the lack of trying. Some people cannot control what they call love, from love to anger. They can't control that. So when they're looking for the Lord and when they're in it, when they're in the Lord, they don't realize that they're dancing with the devil. They're not dancing with God. They're dancing with the devil. And like I said, both greatness and love and tragedy dance the tango together. So you can't have love without tragedy, and you cannot have tragedy without love. It is a very convoluted, um, I want to say, act between both. But just know that everything cannot be roses, because if everything in life was perfect, what would make life? It sure would be as boring as hell if everything would be the same. I think that we are all spiritual beings, and I think that is the part. So I'm going to break this down. I think that is the part that the church has been hiding from us for many years, for centuries. I think that churches have been lying to us and have been manipulating us and the government together. I think, and it's not a conspiracy theory, I think that the government and religion have been lying to us for a long time, trying to create this type of dogma in our head so that we can follow this way or we can follow that way. And at the end of the day, what do we follow? We have to learn to follow the spirit that guides us, the ancestors on whose backs we walk on, and understand that ancestor worshiping doesn't mean you're worshiping the devil. It means that you're acknowledging your ancestors, you're asking them for help, and you're sitting back with the understanding that they will help you to move forward. So I believe that when everything like that comes into play, everything settles and everything turns or becomes to flow in unison. I think it's beautiful. But I just need you to understand that no matter what you do, whether you meditate 5 minutes, 5 hours, 5 days in a row, it's not going to bring you bliss. It's not going to do it, because you're human. And as a human, you will always have an error and you will always make errors. But there is something that we have that we can actually migrate to and connect to, which is God, the one living God, the God that is He, She, Alpha, Omega, the creator of heaven and earth, the creator, creation, whatever you want to call it. There is an energy force that vibrates within us, and it will continue to vibrate within us if we really believe that we are worthy of it. We don't have to be going against certain things. We can easily vibrate our energy by just being happy and by just showing the universe that we are deserving, by showing God that we listen, we are observant. You don't have to get crazy, but at the end of the day, you have to really focus on what is more important. What do you want to do? What do you want to put together? How do you want to put it together? and what needs to put together. And the only answers you can get through all of that is only comes through God. So keep yourself focused on what is important, and you will see how everything will start to shift. Now, you guys out there, you guys are amazing human beings, but you also need to know, that people will always try to keep you moving in a different way because they don't want you to move forward, you know? So they will do everything in their power to make the energy shift in a different way. I'm trying to find a meditation so that we can go through it just so we can use this last few minutes that we have. Okay. I want you guys to find a spot where you can erect your body. Find a spot. I'm a good spot. I'm going to do my chair. And I want you to put your posture up as straight as you can be. I want you to put your hands on your laps, facing upward, so that the energy and the vibration of the universe can come through. And I want you to take a deep breath, as deep as you can. And I want you to hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. And then release. I want you to hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Release. I want you to hold it. Release. I want you to keep your eyes closed and concentrate on this music. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it's very light. So I want you to focus on that. I want you to think about what love means to you. And I want you to take a deep breath, thinking about what it means to you. We're going to go back to this one. I like this one. This is the water, the ocean. I want you to hold your deep breath and think about things that make you happy. With your eyes closed, breathe in. All the negative stuff that surrounds you, and breathe out all the positive things that you feel. The love that you feel with the person you're with. The romance. The fact that you feel safe with the person you're with. that you feel like nothing can change that from you, that no one can take away what you have now. Doesn't matter if you're male, female. A male can feel safe with a woman, and a woman can feel safe with a male. I want you to take that deep breath. Make sure I understand that there is no judgment here. It is all about love. Being the best that you can be. Loving everything and anything that makes you happy. Listening to the sounds of love, of beauty, of enchantment. Filling your mind with positive thoughts, positive energy. Taking a deep breath and filling your lungs with music. And breathe out. Take a deep breath. Fill your lungs with the sound of the birds. And release. Filling your heart with the melodies. Take a deep breath. Count from 10. 10. I am amazing. 9. I am wonderful. 8. I am forever blessed. 7. I am financially secure. 6. I love money and money loves me. 5. Everything I need and everything I want, I attract. 4. I live in the holy name of my Father, as well as He lives within me. 2. I breathe positive energy, and everything I give, and in everything I receive, there is love. And 1. I give because I have to give. Because I am blessed to give. Because the universe provides me for me to give back. Now 1, I am amazing. 2, I am a wonderful human being. 3, I live in gratitude. 4, I live in abundance. 5, I live filled with love. 6, I live with a heart filled of forgiveness. 7, I live to serve myself and then others. 8, I am the epitome of my Father. I am love and light. 9, I am stronger than anyone can ever imagine. And 10, I love myself today, I love myself tomorrow, and I will continuously love myself every single day. I work on myself every day, and I will continue to work on myself every day. And every time I feel like I can't, I will check myself and put myself back in order. Now, I just want you to take one last deep breath and then release it and keep your eyes closed and listen to this mantra until the time comes. Repeat repetitiously in your mind, I am love. I am love, and I am enough. I am love, and I am love, and I am enough. Remember to breathe in deeply, the negative, and blow out through your mouth. I am love and I am enough. And continuously do this. Breathe in slowly. Breathe out. I am love and I am enough. Breathe in. I am love and I am enough. Deep breath. Breathe in. I am love and I am enough. Take a deep breath. Release it. I am love and I am enough. Breathe in. Breathe out. I am love and I am enough. Breathe in. Breathe out. I am love and I am enough. Breathe in. Breathe out. I am love and I am enough. I want you to take a deep breath, as deep as it can. I want you to count to 10. I want you to release it. I want you to open your eyes. And I hope I have been helpful for today's class. I thank you all for showing up. I will say light and love. When you don't see me with coffee, it's because I've had too much coffee. And I think if I had more coffee, I'd probably be in the screen rather than over here sitting down. Listen, I wish you love and light, all of you. Many blessings. May you be guided by the ultimate every single day. May you remember to let go of past tragedies because they no longer exist, and learn to breathe out. I am love and I'm enough, because that is very important. Love and light. Now we go to commercial. I will see you guys on Monday again.